Hello there, and welcome to the latest video in my series, How to Run Cyberpunk Red. For this video, I'll be focusing on one of the last possible steps for the character creation process, which is using the complete package build for buying all of your character's gear and setting up the lifestyle and housing information for your character. There's still one more section to cover for character creation, which is cyberware options, but that covers a lot of ground, so I'll save that for the next video. Before diving into the nuts and bolts of the complete package steps, I need to add some clarification for my previous video. A couple of people on Reddit correctly pointed out that I was wrong in my statement that characters don't have access to anything with a price category higher than premium during character creation. I was absolutely wrong with that statement. To clarify, at character creation, Edgerunner characters have access to any of the available items regardless of price category, provided they have the euro dollars for the purchase. The rule restricting access to anything higher than premium unless you have access to a fixer or a night market only takes effect after character creation. My apologies for the mistake, and thanks to the 2 users on Reddit who caught that. Please take the time to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm a small channel and every subscription and thumbs up helps. Hit the bell icon as well to get notified when I drop new content. You can also check out my other channel, The King's Square Reviews, if you're looking for TV, book, and film reviews. Moving on, the complete package build for buying your character's gear, armor, weapons, etc. is fairly straightforward, and it's broken down into 2 parts. First, you get a pool of euro dollars to use for weapons, armor, gear, and cyberware, totaling 2,550 euro dollars. The good news is that whatever you don't spend during this part of the process, you get to keep when gameplay starts. You also get a separate fund of 800 euro dollars for fashion and fashion wear cybernetic implants. Unfortunately, you don't get to keep any leftover funds from the fashion fund. The key factor for the complete package method of buying gear, weapons, etc. is balancing what your character will need to succeed initially in their role and what your character would need in everyday life. A rocker boy, for example, would absolutely want to have some type of handgun for a weapon, maybe a melee weapon of some kind, light armor jack armor, and then some odds and ends for their everyday life, an agent, a musical instrument, carry-all bag, etc. By contrast, a med tech will probably want to spend big bucks on a med scanner and other tools of the trade, with weapons being a secondary but still important consideration. The screenshot here can be found on page 105 in the core rulebook. It has an index of which pages have the items for each category, which makes finding everything a lot easier. And keep in mind that the 2,550 euro bucks also has to cover cyberware purchases, but there's something characters can do to get more money for cyberware that I'll cover in the next video. A rocker boy may not need much in the way of cybernetic enhancements, focusing on augmentations that can give them an edge in their interactions with people, or maybe a hidden melee weapon in the form of wolvers or big knucks. A netrunner, by contrast, is going to need more extensive cybernetic implants, since they'll need, at minimum, a neural link and interface plugs to be able to connect to their cyberdeck and hack into systems. A netrunner could decide to go fully cybernetic for their virtuality goggles by getting 2 cyber eye implants and the virtuality goggles implant to go with them, which can get expensive. From my perspective as a game master, the complete package build is generally the best way for players to make the most unique character possible. Street Rat and Edgerunner templates are good options to go with. Those are absolutely valid for quick pick-up and play games or for groups that don't want to spend a long time on character creation. Ultimately, it's up to you as the game master and your players on which character creation method works well for you. The last thing to write down is your character's lifestyle and housing. In the time of the Red, living conditions are not great in places like Night City. There's always a housing shortage in the city, which has given rise to cheap housing options like cargo container lots. Picture a plot of land about the size of the average apartment complex, but there are stacks of cargo containers. If you've ever seen Ready Player One and where Wade lives in the beginning of the movie, that's what a cargo container lot in Night City would look like. If your character is not an exec, nomads also have a potential alternative option. Your character lives in one of these cargo containers. The rent for the container is 1,000 euro bucks per month, and the first month is paid at character creation. If you're playing an exec, you get access to a corporate con app, which is a luxurious 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in a corporate controlled zone. You'd even have your own kitchen, dining room, living room, and a small balcony that looks out on the city. Granted, the apartment building is owned and controlled by the corporation you work for, which means you're under surveillance at all times, except for the bathrooms. But that's all part of getting ahead in the world, right? Lifestyle is a bit more complicated than housing. Lifestyle roughly represents what kind of food your character eats on a regular basis and how often they can engage in normal activities like going to the movies, bars, restaurants, etc. For all players except an exec, you start off with the kibble lifestyle, which is the absolute bottom of the barrel. Kibble is a foodstuff created by the megacorporation Continental Brands that is made from kelp, plankton, and soy proteins that meet most of your nutritional needs, but is little better than dog food. In addition to this lovely food option, your character can also afford to see a single movie or brain dance once a month. This costs your character 100 euro bucks per month. The first month is paid for at character creation. For exec players, you also get a much improved lifestyle option called Good Prepack. This means your food is the same quality you'd get at most restaurants in the city. It's made up of synthetic food options, but it tastes a hell of a lot better than kibble. When your exec player goes out, they are regularly able to go to bars and restaurants and not have it impact their wallet. Once a month, an exec is able to take in a live concert or sporting event. Now, this lifestyle does come with a hefty price tag of 600 euro bucks per month. The first month is paid for at character creation, but after that, the exec has to maintain that lifestyle on their own. The good news is that an exec's rent is paid for by their corporation, so they don't have that expense to deal with. Lifestyle and housing may not sound that important, but I cannot emphasize enough how important it is. Each month your players are active in-game, they should be paying their rent and lifestyle costs, which means for the majority of your players, they're having to spend at least 1,100 euro bucks per month to have crappy food and a single room cargo container to rest in. Lifestyle and housing should be used as motivation to keep your characters hungry, to keep them accepting more and more dangerous jobs so they can try to live the good life while they still can. Dangling the thread of potentially being able to get a studio apartment or even a 2-bedroom apartment in a good part of Night City is a way to motivate the players to keep taking dangerous missions that can net them greater amounts of Eurobucks. That about wraps up this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. My next video will focus on the final stage of character creation, which is the cyberware options available to your players. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you've enjoyed this video, and click the bell icon to get notified when I drop new content. Have a great one, Chooms.